Oh my God. Hello. Hey, everybody. I was just telling these guys I'm a Capricorn, so I just like to be the mama bear and tell them what to do. So sit up and smile. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. I'm so excited. Christopher Rausch is in the house. He's one of our media partners. We've got Andy Vargo
What's
in the
up?
house, and he's a media partner as well. You can see my co-author there, Dr. Marcus Weckstein, and Faith, one of our authors out of the UK. And we're going to have some more people popping in. What are we doing? We're celebrating. Look, you guys, look what my sister sent me.
Oh, that is sweet.
Oh,
Those are
that's
beautiful.
awesome. I saw those flowers on social.
Nice.
That's right. I did post them. I don't know what I'm doing today. I've been up since, 83 years ago. So listen, we're talking about the Win the Wellness W.A.R book that just came out today. And this is book 2 of the All Things Wellness series. It's a trilogy. And yeah, it's so exciting. So it's actually a multi-author book. I know you guys listening that have followed me have heard me say this a million times, but hang tight, go get a coffee. Super excited because this is a compilation book, but it also has a ton of health and wellness content in a downloadable wellness wheel and to help you find punctures and give you prompts on how to improve them. And Christopher is a transformation coach. So like shit's not easy with the events in life that happen, huh?
No. Nope. They will test your resiliency and really just, I mean, it's an opportunity for us to grow. And that's the way I always look at challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I think the main thing that I've learned over the years, and I know you guys all can relate to this, is that there is no cookie cutter blank that will fit with you for anything. I mean, it doesn't matter if, anybody wants to do whatever at the gym, you have to make it about you. And this book helps you figure that out. So Marcus, how are you doing with your little balloons, buddy? You excited for today?
Well, hey, what can I say? This is fantastic, amazing, beautiful times.
I know.
And great company, all of that included. It's one of those days that we wish we had every day, striving for it. Let's put it that way. With the
And happy
excitement and
Flag
everything
Day.
else.
Happy Flag Day too, because
Exactly.
a book is metaphorically about Win the Wellness W.A.R, and the W.A.R stands for We Are Responsible. It's time to stop complaining and take responsibility for your own health. Stop blaming Big Pharma and your endocrinologist, right, Marcus?
Yes.
So
Yes.
happy
Knowing
Flag
about
Day.
yourself. Knowing about yourself.
We want to say thank you to all our soldiers and anybody that's defending our country and the dependents who it's so difficult. I've been a dependent and I've worked for the military, and the dependents really have it rough. Those moms out there that are raising kiddos while everybody is deployed in various areas. We want to also say thank you to the U.S. soldiers who help multiple countries around the world do their own stuff in their own freedom. So hail to you guys. Happy Flag Day.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Sup. So I told this I've posted this on my social media, but I want to start with this again. And I put this in our early live this morning. This is live number 3 out of, I don't know how many else we have left, midnight tonight Eastern and 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Yes. So I want to just talk about this book just real quick, and then the floor is going to come to you guys because we are talking about war. And I want to honor my 6-time great-grandfather, E.H. Mehurin, who fought in War of 1812 in the state of New Hampshire. And it's really interesting because this is his New Hampshire State Constitution book. That's his initials and name.
Wow.
And March of 1845. So I have a bunch of heirlooms in my house. And I want to say this just real quickly because serendipity, like tears to my eyes. So we just moved back into our house after being gone 6 months. Our house was kind of mad from the hurricane, so it had to be rebuilt. And I was emptying out some of my stuff, and I found this in my heirlooms. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder what the oldest thing I have. Like, what's up? So I was like, oh, I have a calendar from 1918. That's cool. And I was looking through stuff, and I was like, and I opened this book up, and I was like, E.H. Mehurin. And then I realized in this book, I mentioned my whole family and people that I've known that have been in the war. And I typed, I want to thank my 6-time great-grandfather, E.H. Mehurin, because I just looked it up. I knew it was military, but I didn't know I had his Constitution till last week.
Wow.
And so
That's
170 years later, I just want to leave this message with all of you who are shying away from telling a story and tell you that it's so important, because 170 years later, I wrote in the book, legacies last. You need to do it. Somebody could pick this book up 170 years from now and find their great-great-great-great-grandmother in it. So
Love it.
I must say, Peggy, both books are pretty much the same size, you know. So
Yeah, and I'm sure this isn't a compilation book.
with all the wealth of knowledge and everything else in our book, I would say that you can make that your own constitutional checkup and everything else. You know, that's the beauty about evolution. Everybody before us fought for this. I think that we have now the time and the ability to pursue freedom and happiness. Really.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
You
That
know?
connection is really good. That's really good.
And
Beautiful.
So Faith, thank you for staying with us. And if we see you nod off, we'll just do a little dance or something.
Wake up.
Wake up. All right, so I want to start up in the corner here. Andy Vargo, I met him a couple of months ago at Faith and I actually, she came over from England to visit with me for quite a while, almost 3 weeks. It was a fantastic time. We went up to see Dennis Pitoko and some of the BizCat 360 crew. And Dennis is one of our media partners. And I want to tell this story because I saw Andy from afar. And he's a comedian. And so he did a little gig because Dennis had people do different things instead of just normal presenters. And he's up there and he's like, "Own your awkward." And he's got his shirt and he's got his handlebar mustache. And I'm like, I need that dude in my life. And I walked up to him and we already had all of our media partners. I mean, seriously, Roush came on. I've known him for a long time, but he just came on too towards the end. And I walked up to Andy and he ended up sitting at my table. Actually, we were doing an exercise and I said, "I'm writing a book, but I want you to be a media partner." And I was like, "And I want you to write in the book." So, welcome, buddy.
Thank you.
That's
And
awesome.
I tell you, that moment was definitely like instant connection when we ended up at the same table. I didn't know I was being stopped yet, but we're sitting next to each other. We're starting out the day and you share this. And I am slow to jump in with people because I tend to be reserved with knowing is there a connection, but sometimes it's just instant and sometimes you just know and you have that vibe and energy, and when it's there you've got to jump on it and make the connection. And that's just what I love about this group. Everybody in this book, everyone that I've met that's been a part of this, it's been the same thing. I could transfer that to each of the media partners and authors, and that's just when you surround yourself by good people, you make good things happen, not just in your life but for others, and it's instant.
Thank you.
Exactly right.
Well said.
It is well said. Christopher Roush here in the house is writing his own book, his own memoir, which I want to use this as an example. It's going to be, it's coming out in this fall.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very proud of you. What I want to say about writing your own book and being transparent and authentic and writing a compilation book, they are different, very much so, because it can be very lonely to write your own memoir and meet your own deadlines and all that cathartic shit that comes out. It's just blah, right? Vomit. And then when you have like-minded people, like Andy said, in a compilation book, I really love that because you get to build a community but they're both very different. Christopher, what have you felt with these two journeys you've been on with writing?
It's actually really been beautiful. It's really recaptured my love of writing and put my focus back on that as being a major part of what I do. I mean, I'm also a professional speaker and a coach and a podcaster and everything else, but through this process of going through the editing process and really finding it as a craft and finding how, especially with my memoir, I wrote 176,000 words and I know I've got to get it down to about 100 to 120. And so going through that, and it felt like I was shaping things, but being a part of a team is something that I've always valued in my life. So being a part of a contributing book like this has been incredible because the enthusiasm, the like-mindedness, the genuine desire to serve and really make a change in what's going on in our society today. It does my heart well. So I'm honored to be here.
Look at you being all special. We connected. Our history is it's been 3-4 years-ish or whatever ago.
You stalk me.
I stalked.
He has a history.
We have a history. You know what I'm saying?
The restraining order's gone. The restraining order's gone. That's good.
But he is like my brother from another mother. You guys can probably see this. Like we're a male-female version here of each other. But I had reached out. I really try to get super different people on my radio show, which has been in hiatus as we've written these books, but it's coming back in July. And I for some reason, I don't even know how I initially found you, but it was maybe just you popped up and I was like, that guy's cool. But that's how I originally met him, is he came on to my show and we just connected, and I've been on your show and Good times, right?
Yeah, we got to get you back on again and talk about this process and talk about the resiliency you've experienced since you've been on the show. Talking about, I mean, geez, what you've been through. You are the epitome of kick-ass unstoppable. So hats off to you, my dear.
Well, I would love to be an affiliate. I'm not sure what you pay, but I'm here for you. I would be an affiliate for #Unstoppable. I want to read real quick, and then we're going to come over to Faith. I want to read some of our media partners to you guys. So obviously we have Andy Vargo in the house, and he podcast comedian, cute guy. God, I love you, Andy. And then we have Christine Innes. Now she's editor-in-chief of Corporate Escapist TV podcast. And we have Mr. Christopher Rausch here in the house, Raw and Unscripted show on YouTube. Super excited. We mentioned Dennis Potoko, and he has a really large multimedia enterprise where you can blog and vlog and produce all your writing and blogs. And then we have Don Brightman, who is top-rated podcast host, amazing. And we have Eileen Bild, who owns Hotel Productions and has her own Roku channel. Frank Zakari, who also has his own Roku channel. And then Martinet Emmons, who has a show on Transformation Talk Radio called Transformation with Martinet. And we also have Pat Basili, who is the owner of Transformation Talk Radio. Super cool. And then our last media partner is also a story writer in the book, and she is our publisher as well, and that's Teresa Velarde. I think she's going to join us tonight too. So
awesome.
Nice.
Hi, Faith.
Hi.
Faith reached out to me the other day, and I'm hoping I'm not breaching confidentiality, but it was hard for you to write this story for this book, and it kind of, you're very introverted too, and you kind of sat back and you were like, oh, that's I probably should tell a few people that that might read this story. But how is this story different than the first book? Because you guys, this is the first book of the All Things Wellness series, Fourfold Formula. And so how is this story different for you to write?
I think this story was really different because it was so personal, and it's also something I've never shared before. So a lot of people wouldn't sort of know about it. There's a lot of people who, I guess, some stories will wait till people have passed to tell, but this one, people are still alive, and it can affect other people. So a lot of time, you think, oh, you don't want to say anything, you don't want to rock the boat because it can upset other people, and you always put other people first. So for me, it took about a year to be able to put into words my own story and put myself first to say, actually, this is what I need to do for myself, to get sort of out of my own head and say, this is what I need to do for me. So that was quite a sort of a cathartic process, but it did take quite a long time to do it.
It's huge. Yeah, I tell you. Marcus, what about you? When you read, I mean, Faith was obviously in the last book, but what were your thoughts because I mean, these three stories are very cool, you guys. I mean, Andy, tell us the title of your story.
So the title of my story is Starving Myself to Feed My Soul, Starving My Mind to Feed My Soul. And that really just sums up where I was and where I needed to be in that moment.
Yes, and that, I know your story is so colorful. You're one of those writers. I've told you this before, and Christopher does this too. Faith takes me to a deep emotional place, but you guys are very colorful writers. Like, I'm there, right? I'm sitting on the rock. I hear, and maybe I'm attracted to it because that's just the way I like to write. It's just the way I sprinkle stuff. But yeah, I love that. And Christopher, do you remember the title of your story, or do I have to look it up?
You have to probably look it up because we changed it so many different times. Something about the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
Oh, what's that song? Cats in the Cradle and that. Is that it?
Yeah. No. We said something about, I can't remember what we landed on.
I know. Well, we wanted to, quite frankly, we wanted to align it with his book that's coming out. What's the title of your book?
It's Just You and Me, Kid. It's a story of a mother and son survival on the streets of California.
Exactly. And I think we said something about, I can't even read. This is the thing, you guys who wear glasses. Why do we take them on and off? Like our vision's going to change in between?
I feel smart now.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
I don't think I'll swear now.
Oh, look at you. Oh, I don't know if that's okay. So here's his title. Hey, kid, it's just you, me, and the cats.
Yeah. There was 18 cats and 4 dogs that had joined me in a homeless journey inside of a 1969 Country Squire station wagon. So for 4 years, my life was pretty insane. So a lot of it's documented in the book. The whole book is just the journey of my mother and myself going through all these different ups and downs and how we learn about life and how we learn about ourselves and how we learn to let go and forgive. And it's really a journey of healing. It's been a very cathartic process, and I'm so, so proud of it. I can't wait for people to see it.
Dude, I'm proud of you too. I know this has been a long time coming, and you went through some stuff, and the roller coaster of life, right? That's really what we're all talking about, is sharing perspectives and making sure that we don't feel judged, and we're all more alike than not. That's what cracks me up. You know, I'm getting these stories, and 40 people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm afraid I don't," and I'm like, "So is the last call I took just 10 minutes ago." Swear. Faith, do you remember the title of your story? I know you do.
Don't Rock the Boat.
Don't rock the boat.
I like it.
This is kind of how do you want to give us a summary of your story?
I think it's about the programs we learn from when we're small children based on situations we're in. We make decisions about ourselves, about how we need to be, and then we carry those programs on. So then we decide we can't rock the boat, we can't say anything. Then it's about how we can turn that. Well, it's how I learned to actually step out of that and say, actually, I'm going to rock the boat. I'm going to put forward what is important for me, rather than doing what I think I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yours blends that that process. You explain it really well on the programs. It blends in with some serious trauma. I mean, your examples take us through that, how those programs can keep going and how you have to rewrite them, and it doesn't take away the perspective of what the experience you experienced in the same timeline as, you know, family, friends, whatever.
Yes.
How you doing, Marcus? Are you?
I'm doing very well, and I'm still awake.
Yeah. Don't even start. It's 4:00 in the afternoon over there. I know.
Surviving or thriving. Surviving or thriving.
Yeah, right. That's it. Exactly.
Probably need a snack. So on these, I just want to give just a quick where we are in the next 24 hours. So pretty much by 7 a.m. in the morning, you guys hop onto Amazon, get the ebook, $5.99, have it on Kindle or whatever when you're traveling. The book might not be something that you think you'll grab, but I'll tell you what, once you read one story, taking a bath, you might be interested in another, and it gets quite addictive. You can get the book for $15.99. Those are both bargain prices till 7 a.m. But the really cool thing about it is email me the proof that you did purchase it, and I'm going to give you a secret key link to a non-public place on my website, and we have over 40 giveaways right now that are serious. Like, we're not talking like just
everybody choose only one, though.
Choose only one. Yeah, we have that issue.
I want to win.
What's that?
I said I want to win. I already bought my book, so I'm hoping to win.
It's so
okay.
funny.
There you go.
I had a bunch of authors email me. Well, I bought a book, and I'm like, and you can't get into the secret vaults. It's not for you. It's no, like, but I think our giveaway of signing the book, Marcus, it's the cheapest. It's the least valued gift. Just kidding. But yeah, we got some transformation coaching. We got some serious things in there.
It's not about the money, remember, okay? Not about the money.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't be doing this, would we?
We're giving it away, and it has a huge punch, and that's what we're looking for. The huge punch, you know? I'd like to see people transforming themselves just like I did. You know, it's so much worth it.
It is.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know when we first got together, being Western medicine, and I've known him since 2009, we didn't have conversations about spirituality. And, you know, in Western medicine, you're talking about the facts, the left brain stuff. Like, you weigh this much, you didn't sleep this much, you know, It was real, just that type of stuff. And it's like, we're going to put you on this med and you need to do this. But as we've shifted towards, you know, well-being and quality of life, we both have evolved through this, and that's been fun to watch you evolve over these years.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about programs, like Faith said, with regards to, you know, looking around myself and seeing that, you know, you're trapped in that for 80% basically of my life, coming to estimate it, you know, trying to pull that down a little bit is work, but it's so much, it's well worth it, you know. So hey, put the work in and reap the benefits for the rest of your life. And I wish I would have known that earlier, but that's another.
Well, and about the downloadable here, just to let you guys know, and then we'll circle around the room and chat just a bit more. But there's a downloadable in this book and on my website, the All Things Wellness Wheel, and it has 24 spokes, 24 areas of your life and 4 quadrants. So heart, spirit, mind, and body. And the book is also set up like that. Here we're going to bring in Teresa. Hi, T.
Hey.
What's up,
Everybody.
Teresa?
Howdy.
So we were just talking about the book being set up in 4 quadrants. The actual wheel and the book are aligned in the way that the framework is. So we've got several stories in a heart category and a spirit and mind and body. And like we were saying this morning, take that wheel. It's a self-assessment wheel. Figure out where your punctures are from the hub out to the tread and kind of look at all 24 areas. And, you know, Christopher can back me on this. Just because you're going to the gym 7 days a week, 2 hours a day, you're forgetting to fold laundry and go to dinner with your wife and come over here and journal and, you know, sleep a little bit. So
Got to balance that. You got to balance that stuff out. I've seen too many divorces because people were focused on the wrong area of their life, and it was a lot cheaper for them to focus on their spouse than it was their particular hobby. So, yeah, you got to make sure you're focusing on the priorities, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, enjoying your life. How about that? Some simple stuff.
That's
Right.
You're so right. Welcome, Teresa.
Very
We just
true.
chit-chatting about, you know, whatever, good times. So thank you for being a media partner and obviously our publisher and a storyteller in the book. Can you remember the title of your story and give us an overview of what it's about?
Sure. It's from a ball of clay to a work of art, a transformation, something journey. It's pottery. It's all about pottery.
Pottery and wellness. So metaphorically, you take us through the process of pottery and really compare it to the different stages of getting well.
Yeah. And wellness in terms of in a lot of different areas of my life. And the illustration of going from a ball of clay to a work of art can be used in any area of your life. You know, to transform your business, to transform your home, your relationships, your body, all kinds of things. So it's just, you know, you go through I'll tell you the process. You start out with a ball of clay, you beat the crap out of it so that you can center it on the wheel, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then you mold it and then you just look at it and it's all glazed and it's beautiful. And then someone drops it and you have to start over, which is exactly what this is.
Pretty much. You got that right.
Yeah. Boom.
Boom. That's great.
Drop. Absolutely. So yeah, it's just, you know, getting centered, getting focused on what it is you want, molding and shaping your life in order to be able to make that happen. Taking a little time out to make sure that it is what you want, let it dry, and then you got to go in the fire. The fire is the fun part.
Right.
You know, like, yeah, that's where all the first fire is where all the impurities come out of the clay, and then you bring it out, and then you bring it out of the kiln, let it sit for a bit. Now you have a blank canvas. You can create whatever you want out of it in terms of the color, and you know, if you put any kind of etching in it before it went into the kiln, you add the color and then you put it back in, and then when it comes out, it's gorgeous.
It's just like wellness, you guys. I mean, if metaphorically, it was beautifully. It's beautifully written.
Yeah. So the second time in the kiln is hotter than the first time, but it's what I call the beautification process. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to remember all this, Teresa. I'm gonna have to remember all these analogies and everything for down the road.
It's in the book. It's in the book. So
I can just say, Teresa, that this is the kiln stage.
It is.
The kiln stage. Yeah.
I'll tell my coaching clients that.
We're all in the fire at one point or another.
Oh.
You know, we're either getting purified or we're getting made beautiful. And then you know what the whole thing is after it? You just this is I did a video on this one time and I was like, all right, now that you're out of the kiln and you're so beautiful, off to the gallery with you. Go ahead, show off.
Nice.
I love that.
Nice.
All right, let's circle back around and then we're going to let all of you guys go. I just want to let you know that I'll be coming on at midnight. Why? Because I have nothing else to do. I'm going to come on with my robe, I'm going to come on and just let you know how the day was, how we're doing in rankings, just give you a quick update. And then we're going to be back at 6:30 in the morning. That live is really important because you got 30 minutes to take advantage of the bargain. And it's still going to be available, but I just like the adrenal rush. This okay, so circle back around. And the topic I want you to answer to help me with is how in 2023 is storytelling so important and that we should do it? Andy, what are your thoughts on storytelling for today's world?
Well, to me, storytelling is critical because it's what helps people get to know us. But more importantly, when we tell our stories, it gives other people hope and something to relate to. That if you can see someone else and where they're at in their journey, and you hear their story and say they were in that fire, they were getting slammed and broken and dropped,
Right.
and look at what they're doing now. When you hear those stories, that gives someone hope that maybe they could do it too, or maybe that what they're doing, maybe that fire is making them more beautiful. And we need to share our story, and we need to listen to other stories just to get through and to be our best selves.
Oh, that was all beautifully said. Beautiful. Christopher, how would you piggyback on that storytelling? How important is it?
Geez, Andy, that was awesome. That was amazing. I think about it in terms of this. I think about it in terms of vulnerability. I'm having an argument right now with somebody who's 20 years my senior. He's 74, and he doesn't think that it's proper for us to be vulnerable as experts. You know, for me being a mindset coach expert, you know, motivational speaker and everything, he says you shouldn't be saying when things are, you're in pain or when you're having a bad day and stuff like that. You should always appear to be strong. And I'm like, I completely disagree, because ever since that I've been vulnerable and been totally myself, the connection through the stories that I've shared about my deepest parts of my life have been so unbelievably healing to people that connection helps move mountains in their belief systems to be able to really overcome what it is that has been limiting them for their entire lives. So I think that storytelling is the opportunity for us to get vulnerable, get real, connect with one another. And then as a part of that, as we are listening, we need to be actively listening and really paraphrasing back to people what we understand, and the world will start shifting dramatically. So yeah, I love it. Storytelling.
What is it they say is listen 10 times more than you speak? It's like that dramatic that you should be using your ears versus your mouth.
Transformational. Seek first to understand, then to be understood has been a game changer in my entire life. Seeking to understand. Most people don't do it because their ego's in the way, and you got to let go of the ego, seek first to understand, connect, and then serve.
Look at you too. Oh my God. Faith, what are your thoughts on storytelling 2023?
And one of the things I've learned from this book, even though we've got people from all around the world and everyone's got a different story, and everyone tells it from their own perspective, is that there's something that I can relate to in every single story. We only learn that from sort of telling and sharing, and it brings us all together, so we connect. We learn that actually we're not alone, and it brings everyone together. And I think that's sort of a really important thing, especially sort of after going through COVID and the isolation, is that realizing there are other people that understand that they've been through similar things.
That's huge. That's huge. We started this project right at, the end of 2021, deciding to do this. And that was a huge part of it, honestly, as everybody was stuck at home. And I'm like, who's going to listen to everybody? I mean, it was just really powerful. Teresa, what about you? Storytelling. How important is it for you?
So important. Yeah. And, I have to go back to what Chris was saying about being vulnerable. When you tell your story, that's where you are most vulnerable, and not just from the standpoint of being able to get it off your chest, so to speak, and put it into words, but also you allow, in being vulnerable yourself, you allow other people to become vulnerable along with you so that they can go ahead and tell their story as well. It's like giving somebody else permission. And I'm looking to see if I have Marianne Williamson's thing here. I don't, but there's a line in, our deepest fear is that we are not good enough. I don't know what it says, but it's in being vulnerable and allowing and showing up to be who you are. It allows other people, it gives other people permission to do the same thing. So I'm all about the storytelling.
I love it. Marcus, what about you? Bring up the caboose, buddy.
Yeah, right. For me, the surprising part was the, catharsis of putting it down on paper. Because you have to think about things a level deeper when you write it down. It's, you can think about stuff and it goes like a flash, but putting it down takes time, and so you have more time to reflect on it, and that was very helpful for me. And then recognizing the fact that other people get it and that I'm not alone, like everybody else is saying, is really the outcome that was quite unexpected to me, having been, doing my own thing my whole life. It's a beautiful difference. And I can see how too many people this day are lost and alone and don't even have a goal, and it gets to be a very bad place to be in. So trying to get people to see this and understand and joining in and letting the flame go, that way. Keep it going.
Keep on keeping on.
Keep on trucking.
All right. I'll piggyback onto that, and then we're going to let these guys go. I think that storytelling is so important because the world is sick of to-dos. The world is sick of the finger pointing this way. When you point this way, there are 3 coming right back at you. So taking responsibility, as we say, and by telling stories, you can teach. People don't know you are. You can coach. You can encourage just by telling your own story and getting out of your head on the to-dos. I learned this. Try this. Forget it. The other thing that I want to say with anybody out there who would like to share their story is reach out to me, Peggy at allthingswellness.com, or hop on my website, allthingswellness.com/author. We're going to come out with a trilogy. It's going to come out late spring, summer next year. Same concept. Looking to accept 30 stories, 30 people to participate. We've had 10 media partners, already had a new one step up today. Super excited. Tell your story. We had stopped doing that since we were toddlers, and I am here to make this my mission the rest of my life. Oh my God, that was so good.
Nice. Kudos.
All right, you guys, thank you for joining us. And again, I will be back midnight tonight, and then we'll have some people popping in at 6:30 in the morning. We appreciate anybody listening. Share any of your stories and comments with us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Go be kick
Thank
out.
you.
Thank you, guys.